Hi, Aaron. This is Jim Gillis with Win My Vote, and thanks so much for linking in so quickly. Would love to talk with you guys about a partnership of sorts. So I'll give you a quick little demo, but then again, would love to sort of talk with you live about some ideas. So Win My Vote is a free voter engagement site where voters can sign up with just an email address or social media account, and without entering any personal information, just a zip code, we can create for them their own online interactive sample ballot for upcoming elections. So you can see here 98115 is a Seattle, Washington zip code. So with that, I would get, these Seattle, Washington ballots. Now, if there's any conflict or if there's, say, 2 congressional districts in the same zip code or that type of stuff, during the sign-up process here, we'll give them an either or. So that zip code was a direct hit there, but for example, these 2 districts are both within that zip code. So they would then be able to choose that, and if they needed, to find out, they could, look at a little map and it would show them and that type of stuff. So getting, the accurate ballots are pretty easy. And then with that, they can click on the ballot, and now they can see all the candidates, running in all the races on their ballot, and they can scroll down through them, and they can go to individual races, and they can also see all of the propositions or measures. And this only happened to have one, but they can click on that and they can read about this measure, and they can see the groups and organizations that are supporting it and the groups and organizations that are opposing it. So for example, as a voter, I can click on this.
Before I was the science guy, I was just a kid, and it was hands-on learning that got me interested in science. But today, many schools can't afford field trips. King County Proposition 1 will change that, providing free transportation and access for schools, because tomorrow's marine biologists...
Yeah, and then with that, I can then say, yep, I want to do yes on Proposition 1, and then when I go back to my ballot, you can see here that it's nice and prominent, yes. And then there's also going to be percentages of yes and no and undecided that will be displayed. But for the National Student Parent Mock Election, which we did, and that's the demo ballot that I'm using here, we set the threshold at, I think, like 1,000 votes or something before it would start displaying, just so that we didn't influence anything. But from a candidate standpoint, I can also review candidate profiles. So for example, the mayoral race in Seattle, the current sitting mayor ended up withdrawing with this scandal. It's this guy right here, Ed Murray. And so a bunch of people, piled into the race. There was actually 21, candidates. So with that, as a voter, I can click on Michael here and I can hear what he has to say.
Who am I and why am I running for mayor? Well, I've lived in this town for 34 years, seen the booms and the busts. I've seen the best of this city and I've seen the worst of this city. I'm a wildlife conservationist and...
Anyway, so you get the idea here. And this profile, again, wasn't built out, all the way. There's other sections down here that he can put in priorities, background, experience, policy issues, whatever he wants. And actually, we're redoing the candidate profile, so it's going to soon look a lot better than it looks right here. But as a voter, I may say, yep, I like this guy, I'm going to favorite him. And when I go back to my ballot, you can see here he's now moved into first position. His nameplate's turned green, so it's nice and prominent. In case I'm accessing it on my cell phone or tablet or something, I can easily see who I've favorited. And then you'll also see these percentages, and these are the percentages that are on this ballot right now. And again, these are small percentages because it's just a demo. But this will help voters both sort of help campaign for their candidate, but it'll also help candidates. And one of the aims of Win My Vote is to get money out of politics, right? Is so that Michael here can build a $100 profile and he can connect directly to voters and he can see how he's doing and he can do all these things, for next to nothing, right? He doesn't have to pay tens of thousands of dollars for polling or social media ads or anything like that. And Mike here, who's an ex-mayor, he may spend $1 million on his campaign. But as a voter, I'm going to maybe give him 5 minutes, just like I gave Michael 5 minutes, and I'm going to pick my
Welcome back. Here, 7:42. Seattle's mayoral race is set for a rematch. Former Mayor Mike McGinn announcing that he will run against.
And let's see what he has to say on this one.
Hi, I'm Mike McGinn. People in Seattle are getting squeezed by rising rents and home prices, and the answer to every problem from City Hall is new regressive taxes. If you wanted to design a system to drive people out of town, this is what it would look like. Growth that benefits the wealthy, with the impacts of growth paid by for those in the middle and at the bottom.
And so let's say I say, you know what, I like, this guy, and then obviously I got to change my favorite there. And there's lots of things that we can do on, the back end for things like ranked choice voting and that type of stuff. We can open it up. But back to my ballot, if I did want to change it, I could just unselect that candidate, and I could then select, Mike, and he moves up, and you can see the percentage there, changes in real time. So that's how it works. This section right here, we're trying to make it sort of an everything voting site so that I can always just go back to win my vote, and I know that I have all the candidates on all the races and all the ballots. I can check on my voter registration status. I can find my polling place. I can do all those things. So this right here, we're just linking those to the state or the county website. So you can see here, this is Secretary of State of Washington. And then the voter would then try to find, where he needs to register to vote, and he can go here, etc. We'd love to talk with you guys about standardizing, that experience for the voter, so that they can go through yours, go onto your site, register to vote, and do all those types of things. So we'd love to talk with you about it. If you have any time, let me know. Again, we are releasing a new version in the next, I think, a couple of months or so, maybe 2 months at the most. We're just finishing up some stuff right now, but would love to talk with you guys about ideas as well. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.